However, even with the progress we have made, I am acutely aware that the people of Kenya have very high expectations of me. And they believe that this administration can undertake the most extensive transformation in our nation's history. Recent events that necessitated the withdrawal of the finance bill, which will require a review and reorganization of our budget and fiscal management, have brought us to an inflection point. Upon reflection, listening keenly to what the people of Kenya have said, and after a holistic appraisal of the performance of my cabinet and its achievements and challenges, I have today, in line with the powers given to me by Article 1521 and 1525B of the Constitution and Sections 12 of the Office of the Attorney General's Act, decided to dismiss with immediate effect all the Cabinet Secretaries and Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya, of the Cabinet of Kenya, except the Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary for Cabinet Secretary for Foreign Affairs and Diaspora Affairs. And of course, the Office of the Deputy President is not affected in any way. I will immediately engage in extensive consultations across different sectors and political formations and other Kenyans.
Before we commence in our discussion, I want you, wherever you are listening to me, to stand on your feet with your hands. I want you to give a round of applause to the Kenyans. I want you to give Uza to them. I want you to give them commendation. They have done well. They have done noble. They have shown that they are not docile. They have shown that they are not captured slaves. They have shown that their destiny is in their hands. They have shown that power resides in the people. They have shown that they have the power and they can choose to use it as they wish. They can choose to use it to elect whoever they want to elect. Kenyans elected William Ruto to become their president. When he got into office, he forgot the promises he made to Kenyans. He introduced a bill into the House of the Parliamentarians, and that bill caused a lot of uproar. Kenyans went to the street and protested. Now, what's the bill all about? It's a finance bill. This bill is going to increase taxes in Kenya. That means Kenyans are going to be paying more in taxes. Kenyans said no, they are already paying more in taxes. This is going to be a lot of burden to them. They went to the street and protested. Everyone in Kenya, in one voice, united together. They have a common goal. They protested against that finance bill. But then the government felt that we have the power, we have the police. They used the police on them. Some persons were killed, but Kenyans resisted the intimidation of the government. They went to the House of the Parliamentarians and chased them away. They took the seal of power of the National Assembly, the maize, chased them away. These National Assembly members were seen in the bush eating. They were scared for their life. The President William Ruto hit their demand and withdrew the finance bill. But then Kenyans said, no, we are not going to relent. It took you time to listen to us. You killed some of us because we were protesting for our right. For this reason, you must resign. The Kenyans went to the street and continued in their protest against the president. They demand that the president should resign with immediate effect. Did you hear that right? I said the Kenyan citizens, they asked their president to resign. Their president, William Ruto, was scared. He held a Twitter space with them, listened to them, and was begging them to tamper justice with mercy. You did not get that right. I am telling you that the president of Kenya was begging Kenyans to have mercy on him, and then he gave them demand. He gave them an open check. What do you want? What do you want? They told him, your cabinet members are incompetent. You are putting round square in a square hole. We need them to be relinquished, and we want you to close the office of the First Lady. This money that you're using for the office of the First Lady should be used on us. And you know what happened? The president closed the office of the First Lady, even closed the office of the wife of the vice president as well. He didn't end there. The video you just watched is the president announcing the immediate dissolvement of his cabinet members. Every one of them were dissolved except some few that he did not dissolve. I want you to listen to the live conversation between Kenyans and their president on Twitter Space. Twitter Space.
Of civilians. Why do you hold a press conference and tell the police that, citizens, that they're going to be met with equal force if they go and protest? And what he meant, he did not use the word protest precisely, but he said anyone who tries to disrupt the peace of the country. Protesters, how do protesters disrupt the peace of the country? Why do you allow the police when people are killed? Why are police shooting at civilians on their balconies? Why are people fleeing Kenya so that they may have peace? Why are they being abducted? You might say that the police body is independent, but this is not a democracy. It is not functioning like a democracy, but a dictatorship, Mr. William Ruto. Because the way the police are handling the situation is not fit for a democracy. And you cannot deny that you're behind that. Because even though you say they're independent, you have the power to stop the killings. But instead you go after all the killings, you go hold a press conference and laud them. Sincerely, we saw Maandamano last year, how you dealt with the citizens. Same scenario this year. When is that going to stop? What kind of a democracy is this? Can you define what a democracy is, Mr. William Ruto? I think you grew up in a very authoritarian family that you expect people just to dance to your tune. In a democracy, the right to picket and to protest is guaranteed in the Constitution. The countries you travel to, Germany and United States, first of all, why did you grant them visa-free entry to Kenya? Africans do not have the luxury, even diasporans don't have that luxury. The way diasporans are being treated at the airport, these bills. Now, what you did when you granted Europeans visa-free entry to the country is giving them the right to disrespect Kenyan citizens abroad. And the fee that was supposed to be incurred through the payment of visas is transferred to Kenyans. I mean, that is simple mathematics. You should know that.
Okay, Kenyan German lady, thank you so much.
Why don't you set the same expectations for European nations and the West in general as they set for Kenyans?
Okay,
why do you sit with them all the time and then the conditions worsen for Kenyans?
Okay, if you can hear me, Kenyan German lady, let's give it, we said we'll limit this to 2 minutes so that we give everybody.
I'm Marvin Mabonga. I come from Kimilili constituency in Bungoma County. So, Mr. President, before you go, I want to let you know that in your cabinet, currently we are having so many incompetent cabinet secretaries. For instance, let me give you an example of your friend, Kipchumba Murkomen. Kipchumba Murkomen did law. He has never been in any law firm in this country. He has never won any case. But currently, he's heading the Ministry for Road and Transport. My question is, where is the conjunction between the Ministry of Transport and a lawyer? In that department, you should be putting there a person who has done even civil engineering, who knows so much about construction. Lastly, the Minister for Agriculture, that person, he even doesn't have a bachelor's. We all know this information. We have the government's website and we Google, we see this information. So, Mr. President, if you are going to give us those people who are incompetent, then we are totally doomed. You know, when we elected you as the president, normally they say, you set a thief to catch a thief. But this time round, when we elected you, Mr. President, that you can help us now catch Those people who are corrupt in this nation, you're just there laughing with them. Look at Oscar Sudi. He's flaunting with 20 million in a bag in a public forum. I'm even told that there is one of the cabinet minister who was caught in Dubai with 20 million cash, and you actually came through him, so he wasn't taken to a court somewhere or arrested. You know that, Mr. President.
The president has finally bowed to pressure and is heeding to the demands of the people. That is the power of unity. That is the power of one voice. That is the power that the citizens hold. When they come together, they can achieve great things. And the Kenyans, they've succeeded in actualizing their goals and wishes. They've succeeded in making the politicians know that they have the power. They've succeeded in making the politicians respect them. Can this be done in Nigeria? Can we as Nigerians really stand up to these people we call politicians that are looting the state treasury dry? Can we stand up to these people that we gave power to them, but they turned themselves into demigod? Can we stand up to these people that we make them who they are today, but they have turned against the people? They've denied the people basic amenities. Look at a place like Kogi State. P2B is going to Kogi State to dig borehole. They don't have water, no light for 20 years. But these people have the resources and the money to do these things for their people, but they can't do it. Can we stand up against these politicians? Bola Ahmed Tinubu became the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and he has increased everything that needed to be increased. Taxes have increased, everything has gone up, but the salary of Nigerian workers have not been increased. Nigerians are suffering more than Kenyans, but they are docile, they are quiet. So can we as Nigerians stand up to this hardship, to this suffering in our land? Can we say no, enough is enough? Can we put our party affiliation aside? Can we put our tribal differences aside? Can we put our religion aside? When Kenyans came out, they spoke in one voice. They didn't speak in tribalism, they didn't speak in their religious belief, they didn't speak in their party affiliation. And I can tell you something, even people that are of the same party with William Ruto, people that voted for William Ruto, they all came out to protest against him, because they are the ones that are suffering the brunt of everything that is happening in Kenya. Even people that came from the same village, from the same tribe as William Ruto, they all came out to protest against him. Can we do that in Nigeria? Some persons are calling for protest. Others are saying you want to protest because a Yoruba man is in power. What level of stupidity are we practicing in this country? Rather than sitting together, coming together to protest, we are talking about tribe. We are talking about party. We are talking about religion. Why should we all be concerned about tribe? Why should we all be concerned about party affiliation? Why should we all be concerned about religion rather than being concerned about our own survival? Does the hardship in the land, does the insecurity, does the inflation, does the food shortage, the hunger, does it know tribe, does it know religion, does it know party? Bread is currently being sold for 1,800 naira, just like P2B will say. Show me where a Muslim buy bread cheaper, and show me where a Christian buy bread costly. Show me where a Muslim travel on a well-paved road and a Christian travel on a deplorable road. We are all being affected by the pain, the insecurity, every negative thing we are experiencing in this country. We are all being affected. The politicians are not being affected. Why do we defend them? Why do we defend them in their luxury? Why do we defend them in their extravagant spending? Why? Enough is enough. It's time to rise up, Nigerians. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.